Hello everyone, let us learn methods of preparation of ethers. There are two methods. First one from alcohols. How? By dehydration. And from haloalkanes, also called as alkyl halides, by which method? Williamson's ether synthesis. And this reaction is very important from board's point of view. From alcohols. When alcohols are treated with concentrated H2SO4, we get ethers. So what is the concentration of alcohols? You have to take the concentration of alcohols taken should be in excess. So when excess of alcohols is treated with concentrated H2SO4, a dehydrating agent, at a temperature of 413 Kelvin, there is removal of water. Dehydration takes place and there is formation of ether. Okay, example, methyl alcohol, when in excess, is treated with concentrated H2SO4, as I have said already, there is elimination of water leading to formation of methoxymethane. Now let us look into the mechanism of this particular reaction. So we are using concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4 gives us a proton, right? So this proton protonates our alcohol. So what is the step 1? Protonation of alcohol. So you have two lone pair of electrons here. H plus is deficient. So these electrons are given to proton, giving you a protonated alcohol. Now oxygen is deficient of a pair of electrons. Therefore, we write positive charge on the protonated alcohol. Step 2. An alcohol attacks this protonated alcohol. So what happens here? This carbon is deficient of electrons. Therefore, the alcohol which is rich in electrons will attack this carbon atom and water is eliminated. So water goes out in the form of H2O. H2O goes out and to this part of the molecule, this alcohol gets attached. So O, H and one of the lone pair of electrons is given to this carbon. So we write CH3 here, and since only one lone pair of electron is present, it gets a positive charge. Now how do I get ether? By removing this hydrogen. So removal of hydrogen is called as deprotonation. So deprotonation of the protonated ether will give us, so oxygen is deficient of its lone pair of electrons. So this hydrogen gives back the electrons, giving you CH3OCH3, and ether and oxygen is happy with its two pair of electrons and proton is removed. I hope you have understood the mechanism. Just now we learnt that dehydration of alcohols using concentrated H2SO4 at 413 Kelvin. Dehydration of excess of alcohols will give us what? Will give us ethers. Now you may ask me, concentrated H2SO4 is a dehydrating agent. Earlier you had studied that dehydration of alcohols will give you alkenes, right? CH2 double bond CH2, for example. You end up with alkenes. This reaction you have studied. Now when are alkenes formed and when are ethers formed? So when are alkenes formed? When you are going to take or react alcohols with the excess of excess of concentrated H2SO4 at a higher temperature around 443 Kelvin, you end up with alkenes. So alcohols can be converted into ethers as well as alkenes using concentrated H2SO4, a dehydrating agent. When do we get ethers? When we use excess of alcohols. When do we get alkenes? When we use excess of acid, less of alcohol, and at a higher temperature we end up with alkenes. This point is to be noted. So alcohols can be converted into ethers at lower temperature, excess of alcohol. Alcohols can be converted into alkenes using excess of acid and at a higher temperature. Now the above method for preparation of ethers, we can prepare only simple ethers. What are simple ethers? Simple ethers are one in which R is equal to R dash, CH3, OCH3. So both R's are same, therefore I call it as simple ether. If C2H5 is here, C2H5 should be on the other side also. They are also called as symmetrical ethers. And the R group used here should be only primary. So which type of ethers can be prepared? Very simple symmetrical ethers can be prepared by this method. If I want a secondary or tertiary group in the R, then we cannot go for this method. So once again, which type of ethers can be prepared? Simple symmetrical ethers can be prepared by dehydration of alcohols using concentrated H2SO4. If you want unsymmetrical complex ethers, then you have to go for Williamson's ether synthesis. Preparation of ethers by Williamson's ether synthesis. Here we are going to react sodium alkoxide with alkyl halides. So alkyl halides, I am going to write it like this. So there is removal of NaX giving you ROR. So how do I arrive at sodium alkoxide? You have already studied. Alcohols react with the sodium with the liberation of hydrogen gas with a hissing sound. So you end up with RONA. So sodium alkoxide is obtained, which on reaction with alkyl halides or haloalkanes give you ethers. Which type of ether is this? Both groups are same. So it is a symmetrical ether. Simple or mixed? It is simple because both sides are same. Which type of ether is this? It is unsymmetrical. Unsymmetrical mixed ether. How about this? This is also unsymmetrical because these two groups are not same. Therefore it is unsymmetrical mixed ether. How about this? Both groups are not same. Therefore unsymmetrical. And it is aromatic ether. Aromatic ether. So what is difference between all of these molecules? Here secondary carbon atom is here. So secondary alkyl group is present. Here it is mixed and here you have an aromatic ring. All these kinds of ethers can be prepared by Williamson's method. Can I prepare all of these by dehydration of alcohol? No. Which one can be prepared? Only the first type can be prepared by dehydration of alcohol. Wherein which alcohol you are going to use? CH3 group is there. Therefore you are going to use methyl alcohol and it should be always used in excess. Okay. Now we need to remember the conditions while preparing these ethers using Williamson's method. So whenever you are preparing mixed ethers wherein alkyl group can be primary, secondary or tertiary or aromatic group, you are going to change R of your alkoxide and R of alkyl halide should always be primary. Understood? So this R can be primary, it can be secondary, it can be tertiary, or it can be a phenyl group. Understood? What happens if I change this R? It will lead to elimination reaction. Change this R means R cannot be what? Secondary or tertiary. It cannot be secondary or tertiary. You have to use only primary alkyl halides. If at all you want to change R, then you have to change it in your alkoxide ion. What happens if you change it here? It will lead to elimination reaction and not substitution reaction. So let us see how is methoxybenzene prepared. So you have to guide me which R group you are going to take as benzene and which R as methyl group. So this is methoxybenzene. Common name is what? Common name is anisole. So how do I prepare now? I said R of alkyl halide should be simple. So what should I write here? CH3I. Correct. And what should I use here? Benzene, to which oxygen and sodium is attached. So Na and I goes out and you get methoxybenzene or anisole. Suppose I want an an ether having the structure something like this. So what are B and A? Identify A and B. So what I said, alkyl halide should be simple. So which is primary group here? This is primary. So this should be primary alkyl halide. Okay, I have taken methyl bromide. And what should be this? It should be CH3, CH3, yes, O, N, A. Na goes with Br, forming NaBr, and you end up with this product. So you should be able to write what is A and B if ether is given. What you should remember? Your alkyl halide should always be primary alkyl halide. Done. Now if you go on asking, if I take tertiary alkyl halide, what will happen? I will show you what will happen now. If you take a tertiary alkyl halide, there is removal of sodium iodide. So I will write sodium iodide, NaI. Then this is the group which is left behind. So CH3O minus. So anything which carries a negative charge is also a nucleophile. This CH3OI, CH3O is it acts as a nucleophile and it also acts as a base. Remember what is a base? Base is something which takes H plus ion. Now once I is removed from here, there is formation of a tertiary carbocation. So CH3 is here and there is formation of a tertiary carbocation, and your CH3O, it behaves as a base rather than behaving as a nucleophile. So what does base do? It takes away a proton. So it takes H from here. So you end up with CH3, okay, CH3, and this CH3 will become CH2 and there is formation of a double bond which is nothing but an alkene, and alcohol is formed, CH3OH. Therefore, we should always use what? Primary alkyl halides. If you use tertiary alkyl halides, you end up with alkenes only. It prefers to undergo elimination reaction. Why? Because your alkoxide ion, it behaves as a base rather than behaving as a nucleophile. Whichever is easy, you follow the same method. So it is easier for your alkoxide ion to behave as a base when you use tertiary alkyl halide. Suppose if you use a secondary alkyl halide, what will happen? You end up with 21% your ether, and the rest other means 100 minus 21 is how much? 79. So 79% will be alkene only. Dehydration of alcohols give us ethers. When excess of alcohol is used with concentrated H2SO4. And in what type of ethers can be prepared? Only simple symmetrical ethers can be prepared by dehydration of alcohols. And using Williamson ether synthesis, any type of ether can be prepared, but condition is always use primary alkyl halide. Why primary? Because if you use secondary and tertiary, it will lead to elimination reaction leading to formation of what? Alkenes. Done. Both these reactions follow SN2 mechanism. If you use a tertiary alkyl halide in Williamson's ether synthesis, then it follows SN1 mechanism. This you should remember for CET and NEET. Thank you.